Hello everybody. Have you been dealing with high temperatures when gaming, especially from your CPU? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to solve that problem in very easy steps. So let's get straight into this. We are going to open up a game, Assassin's Creed Origins, and let's see how the temperatures will be. I'm going to use the MSI Afterburner to indicate the temperatures which you're going to get both from the CPU and the GPU, and we're going to see at normal circumstances what temperatures are we getting. In this case, we are using the CPU, which is the Ryzen 5 3600, and the graphics card is RX 6600. So as you can see from the top left corner, already we are hitting 48 degrees Celsius when it comes to the CPU side, and the GPU is at 33 degrees Celsius. We have not even yet started the game, so we are still not in the game, but the temperatures seem to be a little bit high. So let's launch the game and let's see what temperatures we're going to get while playing the game. So we're in the game menu. Let's go to the options and let's see the graphical settings we're using. We are using very high. Everything is on very high. The preset is just directly very high. That's what we're going to use as we load into the game, and let's see the temperatures we're going to get. Also, something to look is the power draw. We can also see that the CPU is already drawing around 31 watts, 30 watts. The GPU is at 28 watts. So we are in the game. As we can see, the CPU temperature is already at 59 degrees. It's now at 60. If you can hear from the background noise, that's the CPU fan going hot, spinning very fast, trying to cool it down. So we are around 61 degrees. The GPU is around 43 degrees. The power being drawn is around 50 watts. That is from the CPU side. And as we are going to play more and more in this game, we are going to notice that the temperature will even rise even more. And the main aim of the video, as I stated earlier, is to see how we are going to reduce these temperatures and still maintain the same performance. In my case, my display is a 60 Hz display, so I don't think I need more than 60 frames per second. So I'm trying to maintain a playable frame rates, that is 60 frames per second, without taking more power and without my CPU going hot. So that's the main aim. So I don't think that the extra power being drawn is useful to me, and also the high temperatures are not good. So let's see how we are going to solve this problem. As you can see, we are running around 62, 63 degrees. I've said that the readings are in the top left corner. You can see them, and the frame rates, RAM being used, and also the GPU. The GPU seems not to be struggling, around 45 degrees Celsius. So let's see how we are going to solve this problem. Some status, which might be normal for a game like Assassin's Creed Origins. So let's see what will happen if we... let me show you the solution which I have to counter the high temperatures in the game. So let's go straight into this. So what you're going to do is power down your system. You shut it down. Or you can restart. Any can do. You can shut it down or restart. We have shut down. Wait for the system to completely shut down. After shutting it down, you're going to go straight forward into the BIOS. In the BIOS, you look for a section where we have Twerker, depending on the motherboard that you have. In my case, we can see the system info. I have a B550M motherboard that supports a Ryzen CPU, and we have the processor, which is Ryzen 5 3600 with 6 cores, and the rest you can see them right there. So what you're going to do in this video, or what we are going to do, sorry, is simply undervolt. So you may ask, what is undervolting? Undervolting simply is trying to minimize the amount of power getting to your CPU, and by minimizing this power will achieve lower temperatures, because the higher the power being drawn, the higher the possibilities of there being a higher temperature. So what you're going to do is lower the voltage which is being supplied to your CPU, and this will help solve the high temperatures. So lowering the voltage won't really cause damage. The worst it can do is actually make your computer to crash, but not really destroy the hardware. So don't be worried when it comes to if the computer will fully be destroyed. So I don't think that will happen. What will happen mostly is probably well, don't be worried about that. Let's just get straight into this. We are going to play with safe voltage. So let's go straight forward to this section where we have Twerker. And in Twerker, you're going to look for CPU vCore. In my case, we have CPU vCore. It may be named differently depending on the system that you have. So you go into there, you click that. In most of the times, I've noticed that the motherboard does not support the click. So what you're going to do is press enter in your keyboard to be able to access the CPU vCore. After pressing enter, you'll have different options. You can see different voltages. In our case, we are at auto. So we're going to check for a voltage that will suit what we are looking for. In my case, I would recommend 1.196 volts. This will work perfectly if you are aiming at 60 frames per second, no loss in performance, and lower temperatures for your CPU. So let's select this, and the same way you're going to press enter to select this. And it's as simple as that. So the next thing is to make sure that as you exit the BIOS, you save the settings. And to do this, don't just press escape. By pressing escape, it will ask you quit without saving. So you may not have read that, and you just click yes, and no change will occur. So what I will advise is go straight to the final tab, which will have save and exit. Click on that, then click on save and exit setup, and then click on yes. And what will happen is that the system will restart itself with the new settings. So let's dive into our system again, and let's see what will happen to our game as we play it. Okay, that's the CPU. So we are back, the computer is on. So we're going to launch the game again, that is Assassin's Creed Origins, and we're going to monitor the temperatures. So let's see in our gameplay, the settings will remain the same. So we're going to dive straight into the gameplay and see if there's really a change in temperature. What I had told you, if my plan is working or it has backfired. Let's see if it works. So we are back in the game. So let's try to play around and see. So previously we saw that our temperatures were around 60 degrees, 62 degrees Celsius. Let's see where our temperatures will range. Currently we are at 52 degrees Celsius, and I can tell you it will take probably, I don't know what will happen, but it won't go past 55 degrees Celsius. So it's 54 degrees Celsius, still playing, still moving around. So the temperatures are not as high compared to what we are seeing, and we are still maintaining that 60 frames per second with lower temperatures and lower power draw. So this is happening. So we have some status. I've said that's normal in Assassin's Creed, especially if you're running a Radeon GPU with DirectX 11, that might happen. So that's another one. But generally, our main aim is looking at the temperature, which is now stuck at 54 degrees Celsius. That's very low for a CPU, and it won't even struggle. The CPU is not even struggling. It is just at 54 degrees. I don't really think that it will go higher than that. It will mainly stay, if it goes high as 55 degrees, everything is working perfectly. So let's not kill that man. Okay, let's see. We can see everything is working perfectly. So there you go. A simple way of reducing the temperature. You don't really have, especially if you're targeting for a 60 frames, ultra high settings, the graphics settings, and you're targeting 60 frames per second. There's no need for an expensive cooler, liquid cooler. Just the normal cooler will work well. So this marks the end of the video. I hope you have learned something, how you're going to cool down your CPU or reduce the temperatures of your CPU. This will work in almost any CPU, both Intel, Ryzen, any motherboard. They will have an option to undervolt. Undervolting saves your hardware, saves the temperature. So the computer will work without struggling, and you'll have good gaming experience with lower power being drawn for those who are worried about the electricity bill, and also you'll have your CPU running cool. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and also comment on anything or any question you have. You can comment. If you have a different motherboard, you may want to know which settings or where you'll find these settings, make sure to comment, and I will make sure to reply and show you what to do. So have yourselves, I don't know, whatever time you'll be watching this, evening, morning, night, midnight. So have yourselves a nice one.